action on it, or consider it, or pass it. I mean, so it's basically just delegating some responsibility to a different body that is essentially convened for purposes like this, that's all.
But would you be involved in that? That's my question.
Well, I mean, if the municipality asks me for a legal opinion concerning X, Y, or Z regulatory structure, or whatever they come up with, it's hard to say because I don't know what form of regulation they would want to pursue, be it adults, minors, what level, how you define it. So there's really nothing on the table. It's tabula rasa right now. There's nothing, but you know, yeah. I mean, if you know, through the village manager's office, you know, I always tell people go through the village manager's office so that you know, that type of work is monitored and regulated so it doesn't run amok.
So where would we put it if we wanted to delegate it to a committee?
I guess, I mean, that's for you to decide.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I think that's the he's saying keep it to the board. Any suggestions?
Community and business relations.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of also agree that we passed the resolution. I think we're all in favor of it. I'm not sure that taking the step of amending our ordinances, I'm not sure what that adds, given that there's no one who practices this type of therapy right now. And I'm not sure what making it an ordinance really adds. We did pass the resolution in support. And I agree, I mean, it's attorney time and our time, and I'm not sure what it adds to what we've already done. So I'm okay with sticking where we are with the resolution and not proceeding with an ordinance, frankly.
And I'm okay with proceeding with an ordinance at some point. We just didn't prioritize it. Trustee Bachers.
So Milwaukee passed an ordinance last April 4th. Just so you guys are aware, I'm not sure if there's been any action based on that, but that's the city of Milwaukee. Regarding the ordinance versus resolution, I know currently, as you guys have said, that this practice does not exist in Shorewood, but I guess there's nothing, you know, precluding anyone from doing it, right? If we had an ordinance, however, that would prevent this heinous practice from occurring in our village.
I think the ordinance would specify too, how do you enforce that? I mean, is it like, how do you prove that they're,
Well,
that was one of the,
that's one of the biggest changes. So I reached out to all of these communities, and some of them, you know, they put in their public health, you know, the health department and go in force, and so being in contact with Anna Christensen, the director, you know, how do you logistically are you going to do this, or how would the PD do this? And there's really no guideline at all for it. And Nathan has a saying where he reads the tea leaves of how people are communicating with you on a particular topic, and with representatives from all of these places, it was that there's, you know, if this comes up, we're going to deal with it on a complaint by complaint basis, but there's no parameters or directives or guidance. I mean, to the point where Ann Christensen from the health department reached out to the national legal source on it because they're not trained to go through something like this.
But it does seem like there are some guardrails and there's some consistency in the way that
Sure.
the municipalities handle this ordinance and enforcement of this ordinance. So I don't think we should make it sound like we're completely kind of out in the abyss.
Right.
Because we
No,
do
figure it
certainly
out.
guardrails here, guardrails here.
so I think, to sum it up, I mean, I am with Trustee Bachors that I'm all for exploring an ordinance at some point, but I don't feel that it is in our list of time frame for 2019 at this moment. That at a lot, this meeting alone. So I'd like to look at it in 2020 during prioritization and decide if it rises to the top. But there's no motion. So we could entertain a motion.
Part of me still, I still have a gut feeling that, you know, I guess I'd like to do something with it. I don't like the fact that it's just kind of sitting out there. And I guess even if we refer it, to community and business relations to deal with as they have capacity. I understand their capacity issues, but this is a heinous practice, and it's something where I don't like it feels unfinished, if it's not somewhere, to me, and maybe that doesn't make a ton of sense, but I just feel like we want to drive it somewhere, to at least kind of take up as they have capacity, so.
And you feel you want to do it now? I think that's the question of when.
My gut feeling is to do it now, but I'm not instructing them to take it up in the next meeting. I just like to be able to say, this is with XYZ has accountability for this at some point when they have capacity.
Do you want to make a motion?
I move to refer the matter to the community and business relations committee, standing committee to evaluate and consider.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I saw some hands.
I would like to say that bans exist in, I think it's like 13 or so states across the nation at the state level. So we're not inventing the wheel here.
Okay, any further discussion? I'm just going to, Trustee McGee.
There's part of me that feels like it makes more sense to have it at JP&L just because of that, it is legislative. But I think we might run that risk of, with community business relations that, you know, the interface. But there will be collaboration, so I just wanted to say that because it kind of made sense, but I don't want to amend the motion.
Okay.
Okay, so the motion is
Stands.
Okay, I am going to vote no, only because I would like to take it up in 2020. I think it's important. I do think we need it to land somewhere and to prioritize. I just feel like we've set our agenda and we're pretty tight right now. So that's the only reason I do support moving forward. If we didn't prioritize it and we've got a lot on our plate at the moment.
Do you want attorney buyer at community and business relations when you take it up?
At the,
I mean, I don't think that we're gonna write an ordinance in the first meeting.
Okay, I just wanted to.
I mean,
but you can meet with community and business relations chair. And
Sure, okay,
right?
yeah, that's
Wait,
fine,
are we
sorry.
settling
Let's
it?
move on.
Yep, then we'll decide what
Sorry.
kind of information and staff is needed.
We have to vote yet.
Oh,
Okay, is there any further discussion?
I'm a little concerned we're adding.
Yeah.
We've talked to try to limit, and now we're like, well, let's just throw some more, we only got an hour and a half in there to do all this business. And I don't know.
Trustee Purple?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, similar to the previous memo where we discussed consideration in 2020, you know, I think this is really important. I think that this is a terrible practice and not something that I would ever want to find out is happening in our community. That being said, there's only so much time, and as we continue to, as Trustee Meyer just said, as we continue to add more things, you know, I mean, that's my concern.
Okay, so any further discussion? We have a motion. Can you reread it? Yep.
To refer the next steps of conversion therapy to the Community and Business Relations Standing Committee and evaluate and consider when they have availability.
When they have
Yeah, what does
availability,
that
does that
mean?
mean Rebecca and I decide? Do we decide? Or which of us decide?
So what does that mean when they have availability?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, yeah, we don't have a policy yet, so we can turn
Yeah. We'll just state when.
I'm good.
Well, it sounds like this will go ultimately to, at least right now, community business relations. This passes at a date to be determined.
Okay, so do we bring it back to the board to decide that date, or are we going to decide that date?
If you guys decide like 5 years from now, then it will definitely come back to the board as an item for future consideration.
So within the next
So go ahead,
year,
give
I
me
mean,
some
just-
discretion. That's my.
My list is the fun part.
I mean, a year, within the next year, I mean, just give me some
Yeah,
parameters.
we
We
can
can
help
help.
to tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're working through the kinks yet.
Okay,
So I will keep it, I mean, it will be on my radar list as we take a look at things, and I can be in communication with you. And just so you know, my comments before were not anywhere near, I do not agree with this practice. so I wasn't trying to imply
I don't
anything
think I
at
would
all.
say.
They were just concerns with enforcement. Okay, so
Okay,
I will keep it on my list, I'll be in communication with you as things transpire, and we'll find
We
it.
haven't,
So-
we haven't voted
oh
yet.
gosh, yeah, no. So, did we,
So-
motion amended something at all? Okay, so we have a motion, can you please reread it in a second?
To refer the next steps of conversion therapy to the Community and Business Relations Standing Committee to evaluate and consider when they have a business need.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, any further discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries 5-2. Thank you. Are we done? Oh, so now we're on items for future agenda. Would anyone like to suggest an item for a future agenda?
No, I have a question on, it's not really an item, well, kind of, it's we have a meeting March 19th, which is a Tuesday.
My apologies, I think I got confused with February, so our next meeting in February is on a Tuesday, not the March meeting.
March is
is
the
Monday.
18th, not. 'cause
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct,
so
that I incorrectly transposed this, like almost the same exact date. So our ordinance says that,
Yeah, okay, so it's on the 18th, not the 19th.
correct, in March.
Okay,
Thank you for that clarification.
okay.
Okay, so if there's no further future agenda items, I would suggest that we defer closed session. Trustee Carpenter, I'll wait till she gets back, and I did not, she sent me over the file of just the tally at 3 o'clock today. And so there's not really a report yet, like a summarization of what it is, and we also only received 2 or 3 department heads, so we both are recommending that I will personally send out with just maybe some two follow-up questions, just like clarifying, did we get any feedback? And so that can be provided to the board. So Jessica, Trustee Carpenter, and I are requesting that we defer this item to the next agenda.
That's good. Under village manager report, we had gotten this letter today about more short funeral services.
We followed up on that. So Bart, and you sent an email? Do you
Okay,
want
just-
a report?
Is that, what was,
He came to the business.
what did the village role was in the
So,
utility?
I was made aware of it on Friday, because I had not received a correspondence like that, but, Planning and Development Director Greppentrag was informed of it 2 to 3 weeks back, and actually reached out and had communication with, whoever was the signatory of the letter from the funeral home. So apparently, We Energies, put some additional equipment on one of the poles that they have near their location. And we went out, took pictures of it, Bart pulled up the old survey. You know, it is located within the scope of our alley. However, with most of these locations, We Energies also has an easement that will go and allow them to do work. We don't require any permit review with us if it has to do with the existing system. So we do require, like, if they're gonna launch new systems into the ground and they're altering or digging into our right of way, that they would come back and pull a permit with us.
Clarification, so all these big because it's not underground, but it's above ground, we're fine with them adding as many antennas and transformers as we just give them that right?
Well, so the clarification point that we had talked about, and this is what Bart actually inquired with the funeral home on, because we don't have a direct contact of where to find that at We Energies, and the funeral home director has been in communication with We Energies, and he listed a name. So Bart had said, you know, if you'd be willing to contact them and ask them for a copy of the easement, because there was never a variance or any such thing granted by us for this. So, you know, we reached out or said, you know, we can ask them, or, you know, do you want to connect us? And that was not taken up on. So he had actually thought that it was no longer an issue because he, you know, said, you know, please call me, I'd be happy to do that. And then Sharon last week, Friday, when President Rosick had handed me the letter, so I scanned it and sent it up to the
He
staff,
delivered it to Mr.
thinking that no one's seen this before. And so come to learn today that everyone has seen it before and had actually had communication with him. So if there's documentation of the easement specifies what's allowed and controlled in that area. But from our prior experience, unless if we're going into the ground, We Energy's typically within their easements has control over that.
That brings up a great point though, just maybe on the future agenda, I don't know, I'll email it so we can put it on there to consider. But things are getting added to utility poles now that, like this situation where they're not going underground, but more antennas are coming. So this thing is like ballooned. And so maybe we need to see what we put in our easements, so we have some say what goes in our right of way above ground.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You
can't?
state law.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that, so.
There's only not a whole lot.
Oh,
I mean, there's under
Well, you
chapter
can
66,
south power.
there's a subchapter 8 talking about public utilities, and
Is there
it
notification to
basically gives
neighbors?
them pretty much
Pretty
free
bad.
to do whatever they
Even
want.
no notification to neighbors or notification to the village?
Yeah.
Not even just a letter, I mean, like, so I understand they can do whatever they want, but when we were doing Wilson Drive and they had to move the AT&T built thing, we at least got to notify the neighbors of what was going on, and so I'm just wondering if there's notification.
Well, there's this thing called COLA